Are you ready to shadow with me? This is Shadowing Pod.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our English Conversation podcast. I'm Sarah, and I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, everyone. It's great to have you all again. And today's topic is one of my favorites. Tell me about your city.
Yes, whether you live in a big city or a small town, this topic is so useful. You can talk about your home, your neighborhood, or even describe a place you love visiting.
Exactly. And if you're learning English, this topic helps you use real-life vocabulary, like buildings, streets, shops, parks, and transportation.
Before we start, don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with a friend, and leave a comment about where you're from. We love hearing your stories.
So, Sarah, where do you live?
I live in Istanbul, Turkey. It's one of the most beautiful and lively cities in the world. Istanbul is a very big city, full of history, culture, and delicious food.
Oh, I love Istanbul. I visited once, and I remember the Bosporus. That view was amazing.
Yes, the Bosphorus connects Europe and Asia, and that's something very special about Istanbul. It's the only city in the world that lies on two continents.
That's incredible. What's your neighborhood like?
I live in a quiet area, about 20 minutes from the city center. My neighborhood has many small cafes, a bakery, and a park where I often walk with my kids.
Sounds peaceful. I live in a smaller city called Brighton in the south of England. It's by the sea, so the weather is often windy, but I love the ocean view.
Do you go to the beach often?
Yes, especially in summer. People swim, play volleyball, or just walk along the pier. There's also a big market on weekends with food, music, and art.
Every city has its special places. For example, in Istanbul, one of my favorite spots is the Grand Bazaar. It's full of colors, smells, and friendly people. You can buy spices, jewelry, or handmade gifts.
That sounds amazing. In Brighton, we have a beautiful place called the Royal Pavilion. It looks like a palace from India, but it's in the middle of England.
Wow, that's interesting. I love when cities mix cultures like that.
Yes, and another important place in every city is the park. People need green spaces. In my city, there's a big park called Preston Park. I often go running there or meet friends for a picnic.
We have many parks too. My favorite one is Emirgan Park. It's full of tulips in spring. The air smells fresh and the view of the Bosphorus is incredible.
Let's talk about transportation. How do people usually move around in Istanbul?
Well, traffic can be terrible sometimes, but there are many ways to get around. Metro, trams, buses, even ferries that cross the Bosphorus. I usually take the metro because it's fast and comfortable.
In Brighton, we mostly use buses or bicycles. It's a small city, so I can walk almost everywhere. But when it rains, which happens a lot, I take the bus.
That's similar to many European cities. In Istanbul, people also walk a lot in the old parts of the city because the streets are narrow and full of shops and cafes.
That's what makes a city feel alive. People walking, talking, enjoying the streets.
Let's talk about transportation. How do people usually move around in Istanbul?
Well, traffic can be terrible sometimes, but there are many ways to get around. Metro, trams, buses, even ferries that cross the Bosporus. I usually take the metro because it's fast and comfortable.
In Brighton, we mostly use buses or bicycles. It's a small city, so I can walk almost everywhere. But when it rains, which happens a lot, I take the bus.
That's similar to many European cities. In Istanbul, people also walk a lot in the old parts of the city because the streets are narrow and full of shops and cafes.
That's what makes a city feel alive. People walking, talking, enjoying the streets.
Ben, if I visit Brighton, what local food should I try?
You should definitely try fish and chips. It's our classic seaside meal. Fried fish with thick fries and some lemon. Simple but delicious.
Oh, I love that. In Istanbul, we have simit, a kind of round bread with sesame seeds. People eat it with tea for breakfast. And of course, kebabs. There are so many kinds.
That sounds perfect. Every city has its own taste, right? Food shows a lot about a place's culture.
Exactly. When you describe your city in English, you can talk not only about buildings, but also about food, traditions, and the people.
Let's talk about how we feel about our cities. What do you like most about Istanbul?
I love the energy. There's always something happening. Markets, art shows, and people are warm and welcoming.
That's lovely. For me, I love the peace of Brighton. The sound of the sea, the quiet mornings, the small local shops.
So even though our cities are different, both give us a sense of home.
Exactly. And for our listeners, when you describe your city, you can say what you like or dislike. Sarah, every city has good sides and bad sides. What do you think are the best things and the most difficult things about living in Istanbul?
Good question. The best thing is definitely the culture. There's always something happening. Concerts, exhibitions, local festivals. The food and people are also amazing. But sometimes the traffic is terrible and the city can be noisy.
Yes, I remember that. So much energy, but also a lot of cars.
Exactly. But that's part of living in a big, busy city. How about Brighton, Ben? What's good and what's not so good there?
Well, Brighton is smaller, so it's peaceful and clean. I love that I can walk almost everywhere, but sometimes it feels too quiet, especially in winter when there aren't many tourists.
So, Istanbul is too busy and Brighton is too calm. Maybe we should switch cities for a month.
That would be fun.
When you describe your city, you can use these expressions. It's full of life. It's peaceful and relaxing. It's crowded but exciting. It's modern and convenient. It's expensive but beautiful.
That's a great list. Learners can mix these adjectives to sound more natural.
Let's talk about weekends. Sarah, what do people usually do in Istanbul on weekends?
Oh, weekends are special. Families often go to the seaside, have picnics, or visit relatives. Many people also go shopping or drink coffee in a cafe with friends. I personally love walking in the old city, around Sultan Ahmet, where you can see Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque.
That sounds so beautiful. In Brighton, weekends are also for relaxing. People go to the beach, ride bicycles, or visit small art galleries. There's often live music near the pier. It's such a friendly vibe.
I love that. I think every city has its weekend spirit. In Istanbul, people say, let's enjoy the moment. And in Brighton, it sounds like, let's take it easy.
Exactly. Different styles but the same goal, to enjoy life.
Let's practice some weekend vocabulary. Go out with friends. Have a picnic. Go for a walk. Go shopping. Relax at home. Spend time with family.
And you can combine them like this. On weekends, I go for a walk in the park. I love spending time with my family at home.
Perfect examples, Ben.
Before we finish, let's share some personal stories. Sarah, do you have a funny or interesting story about living in Istanbul?
Yes, actually. Once I got lost in the Grand Bazaar. It's so big, full of small streets and shops. I walked for almost an hour trying to find the exit. But the funny thing is, I met a friendly shopkeeper who invited me for tea, and we talked about Turkish carpets.
That's such a classic Istanbul story. You get lost, but somehow you have tea and make a new friend.
Exactly. What about you, Ben?
Once, there was a big storm in Brighton, and the waves were huge. I was walking by the pier when suddenly the wind blew my umbrella away, straight into the sea. Everyone around me started laughing.
Oh no, that sounds like a typical British weather story.
Yes, but it was funny and unforgettable.
You know, stories like these show how cities have personality, not just buildings, but people, sounds, and small moments that make them special.
That's beautifully said. Every listener can think about their own city. What makes it special? What memories do you have there? What do you love or dislike about it?
If you can talk about your city in English, you can connect with people around the world.
Exactly, and that's the real purpose of learning English.
Now, let's practice. Try answering these questions in English. 1. Where do you live? 2. What's your favorite place in your city? 3. How do you get to work or school? 4. What food is your city famous for?
You can pause the podcast and speak out loud, or write your answers in a notebook. The more you practice, the better your English will get.
And if you want to make your sentences longer, try using adjectives. Beautiful, quiet, crowded, exciting, modern, traditional.
That's a great tip, Sarah. You can say, my city is beautiful and modern. It's crowded but interesting.
Well, that's all for today's episode.
Yes, thank you all for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your friends.
And tell us, what's your city like? We'd love to hear about it in the comments.
And don't miss our next episode. We'll talk about my hobbies and free time, where we'll share fun ways to talk about what you enjoy doing after work or school. Goodbye, everyone.